Picking up where we left off in the last video, let's talk a little bit about versions. So as you well know, now we have a prompt that we're ready to push into production, okay? To do that, we need to manage versions. Prior to this, we haven't really been messing with the concept that much of versioning. Actually, behind the scenes, I've been using versions to manage the different stages of the prompt that we've had. And you can see those. If we click up here where it says Optimal Festival Chatbot here, you can actually see all the drafts that have been created, okay? But here you'll see, for example, that we have a few different stages of optimizations that I've tried out. You also have archived versions, which are previously published versions, which we'll get to in a little bit. And we have active versions. So this is what actively would be considered our in production prompt, okay? So how do we publish a version? So when we publish a version, you don't need to have the feature in production yet to publish, okay? But publishing, what it's going to do, it's going to solidify that version, okay? And you're going to be able to revert to it in the future if need be. It's just generally a good practice that when you've made sufficient changes on a prompt, to publish that prompt so that those changes don't go away. And if you need to revert, for example, to a version because you made some changes, for example, that reduce reliability, you would want to revert to that. And so it's good to have versioning well understood and well practiced. Okay. So our current live version is this fixed prompt with JSON. Okay. Now, what we want to do here is we want to publish this new optimized version, which is later going to be our version that we're going to use in our production. Okay. So how do we do that? We go over here and we hit deploy version. Okay. Now, when you hit deployed version, you're going to get the chance to change the name of the prompt and give it some descriptions. And you're going to see down here actually that you have access to the edits. You can see them compared to previous versions. Okay. So if we click on here on Ticketing Festival Chatbot, we will see that we have all of the things that were taken out have been highlighted in red, and what was added has been highlighted in green. Okay. And then over here on the bottom left, we have the evaluations that were added to this version and the evaluations that were taken away. The evaluations that are taken away are marked in red, and the evaluations that were added are marked in blue. Okay. So when we're okay with that, let's go here and give it a less generic name. Let's call it Festival Production. Okay. And we'll hit here, deploy. Okay. So now when you hit deploy, that becomes the live version. Okay. And you can see that indicated here in the top left. All right. Now, so what that essentially means now is that when you access your prompt here in Latitude through one of our SDKs, it's going to pull from this version of the prompt, okay? And also any logs that are associated are going to appear within the sections that are specifically labeled as production logs, okay? Now, we introduced versioning. I would just quickly like to say as well that you can create drafts upon versions. So say that we're okay with this now as our live version, but we want to make a change in the future. What we would do is go over here and click new version, okay? You'd be given a generic title. You can change as you wish, and you could create version, okay? And that would put you onto a new draft, okay? If you wanted that draft to become production, then you could hit deploy, but that's not necessary. You can create an unlimited number of drafts. You can delete them and create them as you wish. And you can simply revert to an older version by going up here to your version and clicking active and going back to the live version that you have, okay? So another way that you can see the changes made to your prompts is by going over here to the history section. And here in the history section, you'll see the versions of your prompt that you've had previously, okay? We can see V1, V2, V3, and now our current live version, which would be the V4 if we create a new live version, okay? And again, clicking here, we can see the changes that were made. So this has been a brief introduction to versioning. In the next video, what we're going to do is take this live version, and we're going to see what it looks like when we have a prompt in production, how to get a prompt into production, and what those production logs look like. See you in the next video.